Captain Jace Morgan opened his eyes slowly. At first everything was blurry. The light above him was too bright. His head hurt. His body felt heavy, like something was pressing down on his chest. Then he saw her. An alien woman was sitting on top of him. Jace froze. She was tall, with smooth, dark blue skin. Her hair was like silver wires falling across her face. 4 glowing eyes stared straight into his. Her hands were on his shoulders, holding him down. She didn't move. She didn't blink. Her long claws gently pressed into his shirt. What are you doing? Jace whispered, still confused. You woke too early, the alien woman said in a quiet, calm voice. Jace struggled to sit up, but she didn't let him move. Get off me, he said, louder now. She slowly got up and stepped back. Her eyes never left his face. Jace sat up on the soft couch, breathing hard. He looked around. This was his new house, a small home on a peaceful alien planet called Elvora. He had retired from the Earth Army 6 months ago and moved here for peace and quiet. But this was not peaceful. Who are you? He asked, rubbing his eyes. My name is Micah, she replied. I am your new housekeeper. Housekeeper? Jace frowned. Why were you on top of me? You stopped breathing for a few seconds, she said calmly. I checked your heart. Jace stared at her, unsure if she was serious or lying. And the claws? Part of the scan, she replied. He stood up slowly, still watching her. You're not like other housekeepers. Micah gave a small nod. I am not. I was chosen for you. Jace didn't like the sound of that. He had asked for a helper from the local village, someone who could cook and clean. Nothing fancy. But Micah looked like a warrior, not a cleaner. Her body was strong, her movements sharp and silent. Who sent you? He asked. The agency, she said. They said you needed protection. You are marked. Jace blinked. Marked? For what? She didn't answer. She simply walked to the kitchen and began cleaning. Later that day, Jace sat at the table pretending to read a book, but his eyes were on Micah. She moved smoothly, without sound. She picked up a broken tool from the floor and fixed it in seconds. No human housekeeper could do that. Have you worked for humans before? He asked. No, she said. You are my first. That night, Jace locked his bedroom door. He didn't feel safe. But the next morning, he woke up to a strange sound. A soft whirring came from the corner of his room. Jace sat up fast. Micah was standing in the shadows, scanning the walls with a strange alien device. He grabbed a lamp. What are you doing in here? She looked at him calmly. Checking for signals, someone may be watching. Jace's heart raced. You picked the lock? I do not need keys, she said. He didn't sleep the next night. The next day, Jace tried to act normal. He asked her questions, tried to learn more, but Micah gave short, strange answers. He checked his house settings. It said Micah was registered to him. But the file had no photo, no ID number, no real history. Just one note. Special assignment. Do not remove. What did that mean? That evening, as he prepared dinner, he found something under the sink. A small black box. It looked like an alien scanner. He opened it. Inside was a picture of himself, and red writing in alien letters. He ran to Micah. What is this? She looked at the box and said only one thing. They are coming. Jace couldn't sleep. Kept looking at the black scanner box on the table, the picture of him, the red alien letters, and Micah's cold voice in his head. They are coming. But who were they? And why was his new housekeeper talking like a soldier? The next morning, Jace made coffee and stared at Micah. She moved around the house as if nothing strange had happened. She dusted the windows. She swept the floor. Her face showed no emotion. But Jace could feel it. She was hiding something. He sat down and placed the scanner box on the table. I want answers, he said. Now. Micah turned slowly. "There is nothing to worry about," she said, wiping her hands. Jace slammed his fist on the table. "That's not an answer." Micah's glowing eyes blinked once. "I was told not to tell you everything yet," she said softly. "By who?" No answer. Jace stood up. "Forget it. I'm going to the town office. I'll report this. Maybe they sent the wrong person." Micah's voice turned cold. "If you leave this house now, you may not return alive." Jace froze. She had never spoken like that before. Her voice was flat, but full of warning. "What are you saying?" he asked. Micah walked closer, slowly. "There are people watching. On this planet. Not all of them want you alive." Later that day, Jace searched every room while Micah was out in the garden. He opened drawers, checked behind cabinets, and tapped on walls. Then he found something strange. Behind a tall bookcase, he noticed a gap. He pulled the shelf aside and found a hidden panel. It slid open with a light touch. Inside was a metal box, sealed with a blue fingerprint lock. He placed his hand on it. Nothing happened. But when Micah returned, the box clicked open by itself. She stared at him for a long time. "You were not meant to find that yet," she said. Inside, the box was an old photo. It showed Micah in armor, standing beside other alien soldiers. Her eyes were different in the photo. Bright, fierce, alive. Jace looked at her. "You were in the war?" "Yes," she said. "But they said you're kind, never fought." "We weren't allowed to," she replied. "But we did anyway, in the shadows." Jace sat down. His hands were shaking. "You're not just a housekeeper," he whispered. "No," Micah said. "I was a soldier, a spy, a weapon." "Why are you here with me?" Micah paused. "Because you are marked. Someone wants you gone. But I made a choice." "What choice?" She looked down. "To protect you, even if it means breaking my orders." That night, Jace lay in bed thinking about everything. He remembered the message that flashed on his wrist pad the day before. "She is lying. To you." He didn't know what to believe anymore, but when the windows started buzzing, he jumped out of bed. He ran to the living room. Outside in the darkness, small shapes moved. Drones. One of them floated close to the window. A red light blinked on its front. Then it looked straight at him. Jace held his breath. The drone turned red. Alert mode. Suddenly, Micah flew through the room like a shadow. She leaped into the air and smashed through the window. Her claws ripped through the drone in one move. The pieces fell to the ground, sparking. Jace ran outside after her. 4 more drones flew into the yard. One shot a beam of blue fire toward him. Micah spun and knocked it aside. Her body moved fast. Too fast. She fought like a machine. She didn't stop until every drone was down. Jace looked at her, stunned. You're not just a soldier," he said. "What are you?" Micah stood tall, glowing eyes full of fire. "I was built to kill," she said. "But I chose to protect." Rain fell hard on the roof. The power flickered inside Jace's home. The lights buzzed. Something was wrong with the sky. He stepped outside with his jacket on. The night above him wasn't normal. The stars were gone, covered. Jace looked up and saw the black shape of something huge. A long, flat ship floated above the clouds, silent like a dark shadow. He had seen a ship like this once before, years ago during the last Earth War, but that ship had belonged to the enemy. Micah stood behind him, her eyes glowing brighter than before. "They found us," she whispered. Jace turned. "Who?" She looked at him for a moment. Then she said just one word. "Hunters." Back. Inside, Jace opened his old war files. The word hunters appeared in one of the top secret reports. He remembered now, hunters were not just soldiers, they were machines. Half alive, half programmed. They didn't take prisoners. They erased targets. He looked at Micah. "Why are they coming for me? I'm just a retired soldier." Micah sat on the floor, sharpening a curved blade from her belt. You know something, Captain, she said softly, even if you don't remember. Later that night, Jace heard a high-pitched sound outside the window. He grabbed his flashlight. It wasn't the wind. When he turned the light toward the trees, he saw it. A hunter drone, shaped like a metal bat with red, glowing eyes. It was scanning the house, and then it spotted him. The drone screamed, and the lights inside his house died. Micah moved instantly. She jumped past him and threw a small black device toward the wall. It exploded in a flash of blue light, blocking the drone's scan. Then she grabbed Jace's arm and pulled him into the basement. We have to leave, she said. Now. Where? Jace asked. Micah opened a hidden trapdoor he didn't even know existed. Underground tunnel, she said. Built long ago by the first rebels. Jace looked back toward his home. I built this place with my own hands, he said. If you stay, Micah said, you'll die with it. As they ran through the tunnel, Jace asked her again, what do the hunters want? Micah didn't look back. You saw something on your last mission, a secret, a code. You don't remember it, but it's inside you. That's impossible, Jace said. No, she replied. That's why they marked you. The tunnel ended at an old stone door. Micah pressed her palm to a scanner and it slid open. Behind it was a small hidden bunker with food, weapons, and one long-range radio. Jace looked around. You were planning this? Micah nodded. Since the day I was sent to you? Outside, the sky turned darker. The large ship above the clouds opened its bottom hatch. Thin red lights shot down, searching, burning trees, and cutting through metal. One of them landed on Jace's house. A second later, his home exploded in flames. Jace stared in shock. Everything I had, it's gone. Micah placed a hand on his shoulder. You're still alive, that's all that matters. But then the radio buzzed. Jace picked it up. A voice spoke in a calm, cold tone. Captain Jace Morgan, you are carrying illegal war data. Hand over the alien unit protecting you and we will spare your life. Jace looked at Micah. Her face was unreadable. They're not lying, she said. They will spare you, but not me. Jace stared at the radio, then turned it off. No deal, he said. Far above, the hunter ship turned. The voice returned, now angrier. You have 1 day to decide. After that, no mercy. Jace couldn't sleep. The underground bunker was cold, quiet. But his mind was full of noise. He stared at Micah sitting across the room, eyes closed, legs crossed like a statue. Her breathing was slow. Too perfect. Like a machine counting time. She had saved his life. More than once. But there was one problem. He didn't trust her. Not fully. Earlier that night, Jace had done something risky. He told Micah a lie. He said, I found a way off this planet. An old smuggler's port 10 miles east. I'll go tomorrow alone. He watched her reaction closely. Micah didn't speak. She just nodded once and said, As you wish. But when Jace checked the security camera hidden near the bunker door, he saw her leave an hour later, and she went east, exactly toward the place he mentioned. The next morning, Micah returned, looking calm. I went out for supplies, she said. Jace didn't argue. He only smiled. But his chest hurt, because now he knew. She still wasn't telling him everything. Later that day, he finally asked her, Why me, Micah? Why are you protecting me? She looked at him for a long moment, then said softly, Because you don't remember the day you saved me. Jace blinked. What? She nodded. During the war, you stormed a hunter facility. You weren't supposed to go in, but you did. You freed many prisoners. I don't remember that, he said. You were hurt, shot in the head. They fixed your brain, but the memory was lost. Jace looked away. You could be making this up. Micah placed something in his hand, a broken dog tag. He turned it over. His name was on it, burned and faded, but under it was a second name, Micah 7. That night, Jace sat outside the bunker, looking at the stars. He remembered flashes of pain. A dark room, screaming. Maybe she was telling the truth. Maybe not. But just as he began to think she could be trusted again, he saw movement in the trees. Two silent shapes appeared in the shadows. Black armor, red visors. Hunters. Jace grabbed his weapon and aimed. But before he could shoot, they vanished. He ran back inside. "Micah, they're here." She didn't move, just said, "I know." Jace froze. "You knew?" he asked. "They've been following us since yesterday," she said. "I didn't want to scare you." "Scare me? They want to kill me." Micah stood slowly. "They won't attack yet," she said. "They're waiting for your choice." Jace's hands shook with anger. "Were you ever going to tell me? Or was this all part of the mission?" Micah didn't answer. Jace turned away. He opened the scanner from the black box again. This time he connected it to the bunker's old data console. It showed something new, a record. It said, "Subject Micah 7, behavior unstable, instructed to bond emotionally with target. Trigger trust, deliver location." Jace stepped back, stunned. He looked at her, voice shaking. "You were never here to protect me." Micah said nothing. "You were here to trick me." She finally spoke, voice soft. "I was. But then I saw the truth." "What truth?" "That you were still the same man. The one who saved me when I was just a number." Jace's heart ached. The lie hurt more than the drones. More than the ship above the sky. Micah looked down. For the first time, she looked ashamed. "I broke their orders. I turned against them," she said, "but now they know, and they will send more." Jace picked up his weapon, then let them come. Micah looked at him, surprised. "Even after I lied?" Jace took a deep breath. "You lied. But you also fought beside me. You bled for me. And you saved me more times than I can count." He gave her the broken dog tag. "I don't remember saving you. But maybe now we can save each other." Above them in the sky, the Dark Hunter ship opened again, and this time they weren't sending drones, they were sending soldiers. The sky was falling. Not rain, not fire. Drop pods. Jace watched as glowing red pods rained down from the Black Hunter ship. Above, they hit the ground with loud cracks, sending shockwaves through the forest. Each one opened like a metal flower, and inside, Hunter soldiers stepped out, tall, armored, silent, their faces hidden behind steel masks, their weapons pulsed with dark energy. Jace grabbed Micah's arm. "We have to move now." Inside the bunker, alarms started beeping. The scanner screen blinked red. "Multiple life forms incoming," it said. "Estimated contact in 4 minutes." Micah ran to the console. Her hands moved fast. "There's a path through the canyon," she said. "Old war route, they won't expect it." Jace nodded. "Let's go." But just as they stepped outside, a plasma shot hit the ground beside them, exploding dirt and fire into the air. They dove behind a stone wall. Jace's ears rang. His heart pounded. Another blast, then silence. Micah peeked over the wall. "They're scanning the area," she said, "waiting for us to run." Jace looked around. "What if we don't run?" Micah raised a brow. "What if we go through them?" he said. Micah smiled for the first time. "A human idea," she said. "I like it." They moved like shadows, silent, quick, smart. Jace took the left side of the forest while Micah ran low across the rocks. They used hand signals. No talking. Jace threw a small sound bomb toward a tree. It beeped once, then exploded in a flash of light and sound. The nearest hunter turned. Too slow. Micah jumped from above and sliced through its armor with her blade. Sparks flew. The hunter fell. Jace fired 3 shots into the second one's chest. It dropped with a metallic groan, but more were coming. Jace and Micah ran deeper into The canyon. The old warpath was narrow, full of broken tech and ancient ruins. Vines had covered most of it, but Micah remembered the way. Behind them, the hunter soldiers moved faster now. "They're tracking your heat," Micah said. "We need to split up." "No," Jace said. "I'm not leaving you again." "You won't," she said. "Just trust me." Before he could answer, she pushed him down a side path and sealed the door behind him. Jace hit the ground, rolled, and came up coughing from dust. He was in a dark tunnel. "Micah!" he shouted. No answer. He banged on the sealed door. "Micah, open it!" Still silence. His wrist pad lit up. "Keep going. I'll draw them away. You must reach the signal tower. Send the data. They cannot stop the truth." Jace stared at the screen. Then his hand slowly closed into a fist. She was risking everything. Again. And this time, he couldn't help her. Up above, Micah stood alone on a rocky cliff. 5 hunter soldiers surrounded her. She dropped her blade and raised her hands. One stepped forward, scanning her face. "You have broken your orders," it said. Micah looked up at the sky. "I was never yours," she replied. Then she pulled the pin on a charge at her waist. Boom. Deep in the tunnel, Jace felt the shockwave. He looked up, chest tight. He didn't know if she survived. But he knew one thing. He would finish what she started. At the end of the tunnel, a signal tower blinked in the distance. Old. Weak. But still alive. Jace ran toward it, eyes full of fire, because now he was the hunted one, and he wasn't running anymore. The wind screamed across the cliff. Jace stood at the edge of the old signal tower. His armor was cracked. His hands were shaking, but his eyes were clear. Behind him, the tower lights blinked slowly, faint, old, but alive. He looked up at the dark sky. The hunter ship had grown larger, like a second moon. Its belly opened again. This time it wasn't drones. It was the command team. Jace heard the sound of heavy boots hitting the ground. He turned around. 6 hunter elites walked out of the smoke, and at the front was a face he knew. Colonel, Reznar, once human, now part machine. He wore Earth's old military badge on his chest, twisted, melted into his armor. "I trained you, Jace," Reznar said, "and now you throw it all away for a broken alien unit?" Jace clenched his fists. "She's worth more than your whole command." Reznar laughed, a cold, mechanical sound. "She lied to you, used you. She was a weapon, and you were the target." "I know," Jace said quietly. "And she chose to break her orders to protect me." "That was her failure," Reznar replied. "Just like this will be yours." Jace raised his rifle. "I'm not running," he said. "You want the truth buried? You'll have to kill me first." Reznar gave the order. The soldiers moved in. The battle began. Jace ducked behind a broken satellite dish and fired at the first hunter. His bullets sparked off its armor, but he hit a weak point, the neck joint. The machine dropped, twitching. Another charged. Jace rolled, grabbed a plasma knife and stabbed it under the chest plate. He screamed with pain as its blade cut across his arm, but he didn't stop. From the side, Reznar charged toward him like a tank. Jace tried to dodge, but the older man slammed him into the tower wall. Crack! The wall shook. Jace coughed blood. "You were my best student," Reznar said. "And now you die for nothing." But Jace wasn't done yet. He reached behind him and pulled a detonator from his belt. "Wrong," he said. "I die for a reason." Just before Reznar could strike again, a loud sound echoed from the hill. A familiar sound. A high-pitched, sharp scream. Then, Micah leaped through the smoke. Her skin was burned. Her left arm was sparking, but she was alive. Her claws glowed blue with power. She slammed into the nearest hunter, slicing it in half. Jace stared in shock. "You're alive!" Micah smiled. "I told you I don't die easy." Together they fought back, side by side. Old soldier and rebel weapon, man and machine, human and alien. Jace took down 2 more hunters while Micah faced Reznar head-on. Their fight shook the ground. She dodged his strikes with speed and grace. Her claws sparked against his metal fists. Then she grabbed his head and whispered something Jace couldn't hear, and ripped it off. Reznar fell, finally still. Jace dropped to his knees. Micah did too. The silence was loud. But then, the signal tower beeped. Message transmitted, it said. War crime data uploaded to GalacticNet. Classified logs exposed. The truth was out. Everyone would know now. Jace looked at Micah. She was badly damaged. Sparks flicked from her side. He crawled to her and held her hand. You did it, he said. We did it. Her voice was soft. I broke free because of you. I remembered who I was. Jace smiled. You're not a machine. She shook her head. I'm something more. But then her hand slipped from his. Her eyes dimmed. Jace held her tight. No, he whispered. Don't go. It rained the day the war ended. Not fire, not metal, just quiet, gentle rain. Jace sat beside the broken signal tower, holding Micah's hand. She wasn't moving. Her eyes, once bright and full of fire, were now dim. Her body was still warm, but fading. The ground around them was scorched. Hunter bodies lay scattered like broken statues. The battle was over, but Jace didn't feel like he'd won. He looked up as thunder rolled across the sky. The giant hunter ship above them was gone now, retreating. The truth had spread across the galaxy. The crimes, the experiments, the lies. Everyone knew now, and it couldn't be undone. Jace leaned over Micah. Please, and come back. He tapped on his wrist pad, pulling up her old files. There had to be a way. She was more than just circuits, more than programming. She had changed. She had felt. She had chosen him. He found it. A backup core, a tiny sphere behind her left shoulder. It still blinked. Weak, but alive. Jace reached into his own wrist pad, pulled up his neural key. Something the army had implanted years ago. A piece of him that remembered orders, maps, codes, but also loyalty, emotion, heart. He took a deep breath, placed the sphere in his palm and pressed it to his wrist pad. The system warned him. This transfer may erase parts of your memory. Jace smiled. I've lost memories before, but I won't lose her. He hit confirm. The sphere pulsed once, then twice. Micah's body jerked, her fingers twitched, her chest rose, and slowly, her eyes opened. Jace, she whispered. His face lit up. You're back. She blinked, confused. What did you do? He held her hand. Gave you a piece of me. Days passed. The war didn't return. The hunter ship never came back. The truth kept spreading. Governments fell. Some rebelled. Some hid. But Jace didn't care. He had found peace. In the wreckage of war. With someone no one believed in. He rebuilt the house. Not on the old land, but in a quiet valley, where the stars were always visible. Micah helped, still learning how to feel, how to grow. She planted flowers near the windows. He built her a painting room. She painted stars, moons, oceans she'd never seen. And he watched her, every day, knowing she was never just a machine. She was home. One evening, as they watched, the sky turned orange. Micah said something strange. Do you think they'll come again? Jace thought for a moment. Maybe, he said. But they won't find us the same. Micah smiled. No, they won't. Because now, they weren't alone. They had each other, not soldier and weapon, not human and alien, but something new. A bond no machine could break.